What's your weldable gap distance?
I can do some work.
Okay.
Well, let's put it. If
Yeah,
you
but,
put
I mean,
it,
but you can't weld a half an inch, right?
Maybe you can.
I can. I don't want. I'm not going to.
It's not fun.
I don't want to.
All right. So
All right, guys. So it's 2 days later. We didn't. I didn't film anything yesterday, and that was kind of my bad. Just got into doing stuff, and then John came over, and so we got the motor put back in. Everything put up and in nicely. We got these bolts all put back in after we cleaned up the threads, and I actually overstretched it a little bit. But it's not too bad because you just need to pull this in just a little bit, and they whole line up and go right up and in. So everything came out real nice with that. You can see all of our tweaking and prodding and whatnot with all our lines came out real nice. And then we had to modify this pan because the clearance is tight right here, and this cover actually had a little bit of a clearance issue with all this, but we got that all situated, and we're looking good. So this is all up and in. Today, John's gonna come over and we're gonna run our new last cross member cross piece from here to here. I was originally thinking about coming back underneath here and coming up and around, but then I did think about the fact that if I ever need to pull this cover, like to pull the transmission off, I won't be able to do that. So I think I might just end up running it right underneath the oil pan here and just making that my lowest point of the car. But I don't know. I gotta figure out what I'm doing. Because what I don't want to do, I don't want to come all the way back to here and hide it up in here, which I could do, but I think that could give me more problems than it's worth later down the road. And we already know the oil pan is never coming off of this thing as it sits. So realistically, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I could actually come forward and press right up against the power steering here, but then I run into issues with this over here. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure that out. That's gonna be the plan today, but I'm gonna get everything out and we're gonna play with it here in a little bit. So we'll turn it back on once we get situated and everyone gets over here, but that's the plan for right now. So we'll catch you in a little bit.
All right. So just to double check the measurements that we pulled, the exact width of the pan, okay, adding a 16th to it.
Yes.
Gives us 9 3/4.
Yes.
Okay. So that only gives us basically a 32nd either side. Now, when we start this bend, we're adding 15/16 to here. So here's our pan. Okay.
Yep.
So that's our pan dimension in there.
Yep.
All right, which we start the bend, which will give us a little bit of clearance this way,
yep,
and a little bit of clearance around this way.
But you also have to figure we're not going underneath the pan, we're actually going just in front of it. So we will be fine. We're just trying to we're trying to hug the contour of the pan, which is, that sounds like we're perfect there.
So I just want to make sure that, so when we do this, our exact measurement, then we have this, which allows the space that we need
this is what
for
I'm,
the bend.
this is what I'm thinking.
The bend actually
we put this first bend in the pipe and we throw it up in there, and what we do is we mark where we think it is going to be on the pipe, and then we bring the pipe over here and we lay it on this template, and we'll know real quick if we're fucked up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because that's exactly how we did this one. We laid this line off right here for the front one. We made the first bend and we're like, okay, we figured out what we needed to do for the next one. We made that one, and then when we cut it out, it didn't fit, and then I had to put another bend in right here and here to make it work.
Okay.
So sometimes that's what it takes. But
I mean, if you're cool to go ahead and start, I'm confident that these are exact sizes.
Yeah.
And our angles seem to be, the math adds up. If the math adds up, then that should be true as long as we held everything at the correct points.
It should be, but I'm literally shooting from the hip here.
So, all right, well, I guess let's
give her a shot. All right, so we need to figure out how many inches. We want to go 10 inches basically from the cut here to where the center of the bend is going to be.
How do we know where that is?
We got to guesstimate that. So where's your tape measure? So we got to figure, from what we know, our bend is going to be, we're going to eat an inch, 7/8. It should be 7/8 to the beginning of the, to the center of the bend on this. Because this is what we figured out over here, remember? when we had to add 15/16 to either side, right?
Yes.
So that being said,
It's 1 inch and 13/16 total. But you have to account for the contour of this thing, right?
that is accounting the contour.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we're gonna eat. So in this bend, basically, we're gonna eat up 1 inch in whatever.
Okay.
So
We need to
Give
be
me-
at 11 and 13/16.
no, maybe.
Does this need to be? Well, that's right. We're cutting.
Yeah, we're cutting it, so it doesn't matter.
All right.
All right, bring it through a little bit more. I think we go to 10 because I think that's more than enough. So go back.
Go back.
Yeah. Oh, come back to me. All right, 10's right about there. All right. So now what we do is we tighten this up and get that nice and tight.
Z Deutsch.
Are we straight, Isaac? You don't want to be too high. You don't want to be too low. Looks like we're all right. All right. So now I'm just gonna bump it until we're making contact everywhere. Okay.
Where it touches the circle die too?
It's got to be touching both. This has to tighten up.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we're tight. So
It's got to go up.
you gotta go up. All right. That's good though. We're just touching. All right. So nose or Sharpie.
Right here.
All right. So we need to make a mark right there at the die.
Down or?
Yeah, wherever, just a dot to let us know that that's where it was touching. On the pipe.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Now give me another same one right here on top there where the die meets the.
This will be.
Well, on my side.
You don't want to do it center?
Nope. I want it going right because I care more about that along there.
Here.
Yeah. So we know that's there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's boom. Okay. Right.
So we got
All right.
two contacts.
And then the
something
rest.
here?
No, I don't need that because that's not as important as this is.
Remember the lacquer board. I can get this off with lacquers.
No, I know. I'm not worried about it. All right, so that's pretty tight. Now we're gonna zero. All right, so now the trick is to look down it in a spot where you're gonna look down it, and make sure you like where it's at. So basically,
That's a 0.
yeah, I'm starting at 0, and I'm looking straight down. If you look straight down on it, it kind of lines up with the 0. Okay, so now we're gonna go to, what's this bend?
20. Which one are we doing first?
Driver's side,
I got a D and an R, or a D and a P.
27.
26.
That's the driver's side?
Driver.
Okay. So we're,
So when we hold it up,
yeah.
it's 27.
All right, so 27, right? 26, 27.
26. On that side.
26.
All right, so now we take the bend. Tell me when to stop. Are you looking at it straight down?
The bolt's kind of in the way. Stop. That's 26.
Let me see. 20, the big one is about 26. Alright, so that no, because that's 26 right there. That's 27. Alright, so now watch this. Hold it, support it. We're gonna back it off, and once you feel a little bit of looseness, that's where our spring back is. Nothing? Up and down? Wiggle? Nothing? Alright, keep going. Alright, right there. What are we at?
3 degrees.
Yeah, I'm at 23. So 4. 3 and 4. Alright, so that's what, 30?
We still have. Oh shit! They might pass our lines.
Yeah, no, it's gonna rub those off because it's pulling. Alright, so that means I need to be about 30. 3 degree
Yeah.
bounce back. Alright. Alright. Is it too much of a bend or not enough of a bend? Because I can always add more bend to it.
Yeah. Because I am on the line there. Okay, hold on. Let me get it.
Now it's in the center. Oh, it
So
wasn't.
that needs to be. Sorry.
I almost think because the center of the bend is like right there.
Yeah.
So you need to come your way a bit.
Right about there.
It is about there.
Okay. How do we look compared to our lines there, John?
I mean, I think it needs to go another degree or two, but
Okay.
I mean, we can. You said we can do that more once we
Yeah.
get it up there.
Yeah, we'll throw it up in there and see what we look like. We fucked up. It's way too long.
So
We got to cut off a ton, but we can
but
figure
this
that
is
out.
what we're guesstimating.
Yeah.
here,
So,
right?
and you want to be more like here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. First of all, which way is it?
That's point 0.8 now.
All right.
Well, it depends on what you keep.
Yeah, I know. I keep moving it.
Nah, it's 0.2.
All right, 0.2.
Now I need
0.2 up. So we're negative 0.2. So we got to go that way.
right there.
Right there. All right. All right. All right. So that should be as close to straight as possible as we could get. I am at 1 degree, which is about. I put about a degree in.
31.
Say what now?
31 degrees.
No. I thought it was supposed to be 26 degrees. Where'd you get 31?
was this
The
one?
other one, yeah.
Oh.
The other one you.
We want 27, so 31. Yes, yes, yes. I was confused. Because for the spring back, yes. So 31.
There.
Mm-hmm. So now if we did this right, when it springs back, something gets loose.
Right
It's loose.
That is 27.
What's your weldable gap distance?
I can do some work.
Okay.
Well, let's put it. If you put it,
But you can't weld a half an inch, right?
Maybe you can.
I'm not going
It's
to.
not fun.
I don't want to.
All right. So
All right. So now with that cut like it is, we should get a good idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
you need to cut some more.
We need to put we need to put way more of a bend in it. Or we just need to cut way more off.
That's what I was saying. Because then you need to come up to here and up to here.
We gotta go. Yeah, see what he's saying? Because at least now I can get straight. So I need to be somewhere right about there, and I need to be at this.
Type of an angle.
See, I almost think we might need to bend it more, like John's saying.
that's what I thought. I thought it was way off.
Let's go with some more bend first.
Like how much? Like 3 degrees?
More than that, I
It's
think.
gonna need like almost 10.
Yeah. I say we put 5 more degrees on both sides and see where that gets us. Well,
We're gonna have to put a bend in this side.
no, why?
The power steering.
No, because it's got to go like this. If we go straight up from right here, I think we're fine. Because see the distance I have here now?
Yeah.
Bullets? No?
Ooh, I can put that on my truck.
Totally could. Alright, so. So it's just a little long, which is okay,
Yeah.
because we can play with that. Alright. John, do me a favor. Come look at where I'm landing on either side. Make sure I'm about where I need to be. Front and back, basically.
That looks good. Can't see the front on that
All right.
side.
No, I'm at just forward and aft, but all right. You ready? Tack it.
This right here?
Yep. What are you doing? Well, hold on, hold on, hold on. You moved it on me. All right. All right. Are you ready?
Can't see.
John, can you grab a light?
There, hold on, ready?
Yeah. All right, stop.
This thing.
It's holding it for now.
Get this.
Went right down my sleeve when you hit it. All right, good.
Can you see with that light?
Yeah.
You ready? Hit it. All right. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you looking at?
I'm checking clearances. There's a tight space there.
Well, you can still fit the thing in there.
You know what I'm talking about right here. See that little bump out?
Oh, yeah.
How's the?
It's real tight. The tightest clearance we have is right there, against the rack.
Yeah, but that's stationary along with this, right?
Everything's stationary. Yes. Yeah, it's not going to be an issue. This is never going to move. But that's why my biggest clearance is there, and this actually ended up being
Perfect.
I mean, it's a little lower than I think I would have liked it, but
Well, that's. You got that inch and a 16th because remember we're going off of this.
no, I know it's just above the pan, just.
I'm good.
So yeah, we got our bottom bar, which stiffens up our suspension. It'll be all right. I got good clearance everywhere here and here. What? My water collection?
The glue collection has
Oh, multiplied, yeah. And then I got, I'll make my standoffs right here. What is it? Make my standoffs right here. That will tie into my power steering, and then I'll have that all locked away. So yeah, we're gonna call it. I'm probably, so I'm gonna get the motor back out again and get the subframe back out again, and then I'll finish weld it on the bench and do all that stuff. So I probably won't show you guys taking it off. In fact, I'm probably gonna end the video right here. So
I can put a weld right here.
yeah, I can weld there too, but there's no point when I need to do other shit. So all right, so that's the end of this episode. And we're gonna get out of the car in the next episode and go ahead and weld that all up and get that all done. We really appreciate you guys checking in, keeping up on the build. Let us know what you guys think in the comments, that type of stuff. And make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And we'll check you out on the next one.